All right, this is about blind Willie Johnson and chess singing as the holy blues or gospel blues. And so, blind Willie Johnson, he had a style of blues with a deep chest voice so that he would transmit through the crowd when he played on the street. And I'm currently watching In the Year of the Pig, about the documentary about the US invasion of Indochina, and one of the politicians is denigrating the Buddhist protests, saying that they had a hypnotic chanting. And so, as Western Platonists, our civilization is based on materialistic idealism. So we think chanting is some kind of ignorance, as repetition as a the qigong teacher Dr. Love said the other day with this African qigong practice that I tried to follow along with, that that repetition is a type of we'll have to review the video for the phrase he used, but in non-commutative phase, we realize that repetition actually is an illusion of symmetric time as a spatial measurement. And the blues teaches us this with this non-commutative perfect fifth and octave secret. So in traditional Indian raga music, if you have two notes together with the perfect fourth above the one, then the perfect fourth, even though it's above, it is heard as the root tonic, because the 4/3 is not a natural overtone of the one. And this is and so even though it's a higher frequency, it's heard as an octave from below. And from below, it's actually a perfect fifth in the opposite direction. And so this is also called the quantum underground. So, meaning that as we go in higher frequency, we actually achieve a subharmonic or quantum beat from the future. And this is what Dr. Andrija Puharich figured out for his MK Ultra research with the military and the CIA, that the Schumann resonance of the earth, the Elf harmonic, as a deep the chest singing, or the Om sound of that the Tibetan monks do, and the blind Willie Johnson does, is actually the from the proton and the electron, the magnetic moment between the proton and the electron, that Dr. Andrija Puharich figured out this magnetic moment has a wavelength that is inverse to the ELF frequency. So the wavelength is 1 over 0.125, I think it is, and that translates into about 7 to 8 hertz. And then this is what resonates water as the healing tetrahedral negentropy. That's macroquantum molecule, and that's what splits the electron and the proton to create virtual photons that are then absorbed by the blue light. And this is why the blues music creates blue light as the axis of the soul, seen internally through the heart as the Om sound. And so this natural singing of the earth, with the farmers being barefoot on the earth, and the horticulture by the women, synchronized with the lunar cycle, is then the secret of the blue moon, is the cow jumping over the moon, and the Hathor as the Egyptian goddess, as the cow. This is from ancient Zoroastrian and Egyptian religion, but it's actually goes way back to our original human culture with the Elan bull dance of the human females synchronized with the moon, based on the dancing that activates the pineal gland that resonates with the lunar energy. And this is the psychic energy and the secret power of Medusa with the snakes that can entrance the males. And this was called this is why Pythagoras is called the snake master, because the orthodox Pythagorean music is the same as the Phrygian scale, which is also the blues scale. So it's the flat third, the flat fourth, the flat sixth, and the flat seventh. And so then the fifth and the octave are actually infinite, as Sir James Jeans, one of the early quantum physicists, pointed out in his book Science and Music, is that the Pythagorean comma is defined by the fifth and the octave being non-commutative. And so you can't make a logarithmic addition of the 12 and the 7 together as 19. You can't just say 2 to the 19th as 3 to the 12th, or because it's the opposite it's 3 to the root of the 19th, the 19th root of 3 to the 12th root of 2. And so because they're complementary opposites as the logarithm and exponential inverse, that means that it's non-commutative phase originally, so that the octave as 2 to the 7th can't just be added to the 3/2 as to the 19th for the Pythagorean comma, because the octave actually is changing as an infinite one that is not materialistic, but it can be listened to. So it's not dependent on a materialistic wavelength. And this is the secret of the Taoist traditional music tuning, so that you have the moon is the first note of as 6 of 9 or 2/3 of the wavelength, but it's using a windpipe, just like the early music of Pan was a wind pipe that you blow, the fertility music of Pan and Dionysus. And so this was linked to the lunar energy of the Om singing of the earth, of the Schumann resonance. And so in traditional Chinese music, they say the number or the note F was the note of earth, but in fact what they really mean is it's the subharmonic as the 2/3 in the opposite direction. So it's a perfect fifth as a single perfect yang or yang, and the single perfect yang is then doubled to the as the 4/3. But when you do that,